What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. It means a lot. And I don't just say that, it really does. No one is forced to watch any of our videos. So those that do, we really appreciate it. It sucks to have a video with 0 views on it. So thank you so much. I've been hearing or seeing the statement a lot by women. I'm assuming these are women who, at least at the time that they have made this statement, men are afraid of commitment. I'm assuming that in some way or another, these women find themselves unsuccessful in getting the guy that they want. Maybe a particular guy that they had real interest in, and he either didn't want to be exclusive, didn't want it to turn into long term, didn't finish the process of the relationship. And if it happens over and over and over in somebody's life, it's easy to say men are afraid of commitment. It makes sense. If it continues to happen, it happens with Billy, happens with Sam, happens with Tyrone, happens with Abraham. At some point you say men don't like commitment, they're afraid of commitment. What I want to suggest in my perspective of this subject, and to remind ladies, there's very few things that men are really afraid of. That's just the bottom line. I'm talking about a real man. I'm talking about a man that's for real. I'm not talking about, a teenager or a man that thinks like a teenager, or I'm not talking about just a street guy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real man that puts in work, take care of business, about his business, take care of his responsibilities. I'm talking about this type man, articulate man, can express himself. Those type of men are not afraid of too many things. Cautious, they may be. Afraid is not going to be part of that. But if I could try to explain the way that some men will think, and hopefully this will help somebody. If you have a guy that in his camp, in his surroundings, he know there's 3 or 4 women that he can have access to. I'm not talking about intimate. I'm just talking about that there's interest there. He knows them. He's talked to them. He knows if I want to pursue a relationship, or maybe I have some kind of relationship with them, I could have one with this person. He's got 3 or 4 women like that in his camp. Then at the end of the day, what that man is going to try to do, and what we as men will do, is we will try to take listen, just hear me out. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just telling you how we think sometimes. We will try to take the best attributes from all of those women, those 3 or 4 women, and try to find one woman that has all of those attributes. So I'm just making this up. Don't get offended if I say cook, clean, as if that's all you guys are good for. Okay? Just using it as an example. Normally when you're talking about cooking, normally you're talking about a woman. Normally you're talking about a clean house. Normally you're talking about, see what I'm saying? I'm just using that. Let's say one can cook decent communication. Decent cook, decent communication. Great cook, subpar communication. Can't cook at all, great communication. Decent cook, loves to travel. Right? Add another one. Subpar cook, very good business sense. Low maintenance. Then, because a piece of that appeals to a guy. Let's say he loves great communication. Let's say he loves to travel. Let's say he loves a home-cooked meal. And let's say that even in those number of women, one may have been kind of attractive, one super attractive. She can't cook all that well. So the one that's super attractive, she don't cook all that well. She's subpar cook. But she's super attractive, decent communicator, subpar cook. But she looks good. She looks good to hang out with. You see what I'm saying? So a guy who has those type of women that he can pull from is going to try to find one woman that pretty much represents all of the good things that he found in the 4 women that he could pull from. That's pretty much how we think. So it's not that we are afraid of commitment. We are looking, watch this, for what is the best value to us. Once we figure out the best value to us, then we will make our decision. Let me do another example. Back in the day, which they probably still do, but most companies probably don't really stick with it. But back in the day, when you would take a job, you had 90-day probation to be able to prove yourself. And within that, for any reason, if the company didn't necessarily like the way that you work, or if you didn't want to continue with that job for whatever reason, you was free to go and go on. There was no ties, no nothing. Everybody, we call it a 90-day probation. Right? That's kind of how men will think and how we will operate. When you don't have a job at all and you broke, and many of us have been there, especially those of us in my age group that can remember not having a job, going to the classifieds in the newspaper every morning, trying to circle 5 or 6 potential jobs that we figured we could work and make some money till we got back on. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the newspaper days? Go spend 50 cents or $1, hit them classified ads, boom, 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 man. If you had a CDL, you're looking at tankers, you know what I'm saying, gas, delivering groceries. I mean, you in there. If you could type a little bit and you want to be a secretary or, work at a bank and you circling, you're going to go put in an application, call the job back in 2 days, see if anybody looked at it, right? Okay. That's when you broke and you got to have something to get on your feet. You'll take whoever called you first. They say, we start at 6 o'clock in the morning, no problem. You got to wear overalls all day, no problem. You're going to be on your feet all day, that's fine. Steel toe boots, don't have a problem with it. No, you got bad feet, don't have a problem with it. You got to wear heels to work and dress slacks. I'm okay with it, fine. No good and well you don't walk in heels. No good and well your feet ain't set up for that. Maybe a little thick. I ain't being funny, ladies, sometimes their feet be thick. They don't really look right in here. They're coming out the sides, over the top. No good and well it ain't attractive on you, but you need that job. So you take it. Gotta have some money. Then once you in the job, you realize this ain't really for me. You see what I'm saying? This is not really serving the purpose that I needed to serve for my life. Now, I needed a job, so I took it. So here's what men are dealing with. When you start dealing with a woman and then she say, well, he has commitment issues. He's not afraid to commit, but what's going on now that he is getting to know you, and I hate to say it this way, there's a good chance that he is starting to discover this isn't the best quote unquote job for me. Now, there's nothing wrong with this woman. There's nothing wrong necessarily with this job. Yeah, this job is needed. Yeah, it's needed. Somebody do have to work in the warehouse and slaughter these pigs and tie them up and gut them, everything. Somebody got to do it. But I'm realizing it's not the best job for me. At the end of the day, I really don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be at the job. See what I'm saying? And that's when you realize it's not that he's afraid of commitment. He needs a job. He wants to work. He's willing to work. But what he is not wanting to do is stay signed up to something that he knows is not going to be long-term beneficial to him and the way that he is. He's not afraid of commitment. He just understands this is probably not what's best for me. He's going to commit to someone. May not be you. And that don't make you a bad person. Because just like that, when he leaves that job or that lady leaves that job, that position will become open again. And somebody that is more suitable for that will take that position. Somebody's going to move into town, have already done that kind of work, have already, and they're going to take that job. And when they say, what's your experience? And I was doing this for 6 years back in Chicago. I'll be perfect for this job. And they're going to fit right in. So men are not afraid of commitment. Not in terms of fear. Cautious? Yes. Hesitant? Yes. Remember, ladies, you all will lock in a whole lot faster than men with the use of emotion. We're going to use logic. And if we realize this is not beneficial, we're not going to want to commit to it. And at the end of the day, and I hate to say it, and that may mean that until we actually tell you that, you may feel like you're getting dragged along. So, Professor X, what do I do if I'm in that situation? Well, just like the job. I mean, I hate to say it more like a business sense, but when you start a relationship with a guy, to kind of put him at ease, put a little time frame on it. Hey, no hurry. I know you probably got other options. I'm just giving y'all an example. I know you probably got other options, other situations, things going on. We're just going to take it slow and see where it go. And then we're going to, you ain't necessarily got to say it necessarily. It just could be the idea in the back of your mind. In 90 days, we're going to come back and reassess what we got going on. And then when you reassess where it's at, he may say, I like things the way that they are. I want to take it to another level. I want to step back a little bit. And you got to be, whatever come out of his mouth, you have to receive that as honest. If it don't work for you, back out. Now you haven't spent years in a relationship that's wasted. If it don't work for you, whatever he says, and I'm speaking, I know women, y'all have y'all thing too, but I'm speaking specifically for the women to listen to what the man is saying. At the end of that 90 days, whatever he says, or whatever day y'all pick, 6 months, 3 months, whatever, 1 month, whatever he says, receive that. I want to keep things the way that they are. Take that serious. That means whatever it is right now, in the moment that he said it, don't expect nothing else. Because if you say, I'm okay with that, just to keep him around so you don't go back out and be lonely again, but in your spirit you want more, he's going to feel that from you, and the separation will begin because he already done told you, I'm okay with where we at. Now, he ain't the boss of you, so if you not okay with where y'all at, you want more, you already know what you got to do. You can express that to him, share with your thoughts, hear what he got to say, and then you probably will have to move on. Because once he's spoken, once a man is spoken, he's pretty much already done made up his mind about what it's going to be. Hopefully this helps somebody. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what y'all think. I do appreciate this kind of content. making it for you all, just giving my thoughts, my perspective on what I've seen in life. Men aren't afraid of commitment. We commit to stuff every day, man. Men and women, we commit to getting up, jogging, 4, 5 in the morning, going to the gym. Commitment is not what we are afraid of. Man, we work 30, 40, 50 years, go to the military, retire 20. Men are not afraid of commitment. That's not, in itself, that's not the answer. But we will hesitate when it comes to signing up in a relationship that could potentially just be that person for the rest of our life. We're going to move very cautiously, and we're going to pick the best one for us. That's what we're going to try to do, especially in 2025, and especially if you're dealing with a man that's 35, I would say, and older, who has been around and have learned of life. If we're going to pick again, we're going to pick the best woman for us. Y'all be blessed and get in the comments.